you'll get this one.
The beach.
Or you'll get this one. And green juice and non-dairy and
Starbucks.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, my name is Hunter.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
Hi, I'm Shalyn.
Hey y'all, I'm Shannon.
Hello, I'm Ian.
Hello,
from the States.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. I know mine, I don't know everybody else.
No, because we love each other.
Yep, everything's great.
Yeah, everything's beautiful.
I feel like no matter where you go, other countries or even like different state, because our country, America, the United States is so big.
It's
Even
a
in the same state, like,
even the same state.
Yeah, it's true.
New Jersey, New York are like
Inner city, outer city.
Wow.
like him.
Like me, maybe. It's
Oh my
really
god,
personally.
I love this question. Okay.
Just
It's
like
not,
that.
it's not untrue. I can't say
Can I
it's
point
wrong.
something
like-
out? How earlier when you were telling us like, oh, we're gonna do this, and he was like, oh, well, I only know about my state.
Yeah,
That's California.
okay.
Very selfish. Like, oh, wait, well, I don't know about everybody else, but I know about my state.
Coming from New York?
Oh,
Coming from New York?
Thank
Like
you.
the two most famous, like
Thank you.
New York, California.
I feel like with California though, there's two like sort of interpretations that you'll get. You'll get this one.
The beach.
Yeah.
Go surfing.
Or you'll get this one.
Valley Girl.
Where it's like
The male and
everything
female.
we say
Oh my God.
is super drama
Yeah.
for no reason. And green juice and non-dairy and
Starbucks.
yeah. But it has to be like gluten-free.
It's like,
I
I'm
feel
offended.
like, but I've met people like that. They exist. They exist everywhere.
But all the stereotypes I thought were true were not.
That's good. That's
I was
nice.
kind of like, I
What
thought it was
was
gonna be like
surprised?
Valley Girl and like Beach Boy, that kind of thing. And I was like shocked. A lot of people speak Spanish.
Right, it's so diverse. And
It's
California
very
is so
diverse. I
diverse.
was living in Torrance, which is more like Asian community too.
Right, right.
So I don't know. I mean, the weather, that's accurate, but people aren't walking around like, oh my god.
Right,
gluten-free.
right.
Like,
It's a very like select
God, I'm gluten-free.
subgroup of people.
New
New
York.
York. Accurate. Everyone says coffee, like
Coffee.
Coffee.
Not everyone.
I feel like
No.
She's like not everyone.
No, I was like,
Not everyone.
I feel like New York is just as much of a melting pot. Like
I would compare New York and California because there is a larger
I
amount
think
of
so,
like
yeah.
expats and like people who are like tourists and people who are visiting and also
like
people who are
counting New York
living.
City or
Yeah.
without New York
I think New York State as a whole.
I don't know like about you guys, but when I say New York, most people think city, New York City.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, they don't think about the state.
Never.
There are suburbs, like there are real suburbs in New York. Like that's where I'm
If
from.
you're
is
from
the
New York, I think
northern.
it's different. Like New Yorker, or from New York State, they're thinking differently than people from other states.
Yeah. So for example, when I'm talking to another New Yorker and I tell them, oh, I'm from Buffalo, and they're like, oh, that's not really New York.
Yeah, they think that New Yorkers are very harsh.
Harsh.
Yeah.
they're
Very.
direct. They're direct.
Yeah.
Very blunt.
They're freezing. So
They're freezing and they're just trying to go to work. Ignore the crazy people on the street.
Get
like,
outta here.
Crazy people on the subway.
Yeah.
Think very loud.
yeah.
Like,
That's very true.
Charismatic though too. Like,
I think there are a lot of moments where I correlate living in Seoul with living in New York.
I do feel
get
like
that
there's an
feeling.
air of like slightly, and don't take this the wrong way, like there's a slight air of like this is kind of dangerous in New York
Oh,
versus
yeah.
Seoul.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
I've been living
Like
in New York
you're
City,
fighting
like-
for your life. You're fighting for your life.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I just
I
met
think
her
so.
and she was just using the most
Yeah,
blunt
no,
words
that-
with me. I met her like 5 minutes ago and she was like, you lying. I was just like, do you say that to someone you just met? I just questioned their whole existence. So she had a lot of words for me and I was like, she from New York.
Yeah, yeah.
It depends on like if you say from Georgia or from Atlanta though.
They're
That's
very
like
different.
a
There's
distinction that we-
Savannah,
No, I didn't know that.
Are you from Savannah?
But it's kind of like what we were saying with New York, where there's like New York City and then there's New York. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibe's a little bit different. Atlanta
Like
and
city
then
and-
outside of Atlanta, like Charleston or Savannah or something, it's gonna be really different.
Sometimes if you just want to go to the next city over, you know, like you have to go through like fields and like
City versus the
it's
countryside.
Yeah.
really very
Yeah.
different. Yeah, you have to drive everywhere. I mean, sometimes oh no, oh no, I've been exposed. So I mean, it depends on who you are. It depends on age. Depends on demographic. and you know, all of those kinds of things.
Like in Georgia, I heard in general they'll say like ma'am and sir.
Oh, that's very southern thing,
That's
though.
a southern
Very
thing.
southern
Southern
thing.
hospitality.
Yeah,
Like,
I
if
do
you
that with
go-
my mom. So when she moms me, yeah, so she's like, Chelsea, you need to do this, and I was like, yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
respectful.
it's very respectful.
Or
Yeah.
like, thank you, ma'am.
And they use
you,
like
sir.
kind of
Have a good day, ma'am.
endearing term, like darling or sweetie or honey.
It's true. It's a very
It
southern
depends who
thing
it's
to do.
coming from. If it's like a grown
true.
man that's like at my job or something, if he calls me like sweetie, ooh,
It's
we
'cause she's from
fighting.
the
I'm
South.
like, I don't like
Yeah.
that. But if it's
Yeah.
like an older lady and she's like, oh hey honey, I'm like,
Yeah.
It's true. Even for me, sometimes I'm like, oh, honey. But the thing is that we realize sometimes it's not out of kindness, though. Sometimes it's
Oh,
a
it's
little
like a
petty.
contempt,
Yeah. Sometimes it's like backhanded. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, bless her heart. Sometimes we're meaning like,
Oh, I didn't know that. More about Tennessee or Kentucky than I've heard about North Carolina. So, I mean, I haven't really heard a lot of stereotypes about North Carolina. I don't really know.
I will say you need to know the difference between the three. North Carolina. We don't really have hillbillies. Hillbillies are like West Virginia.
They're in
My
the hills.
accent is coming out. I can.
I really don't know. Like,
please
I really
explain.
don't know.
I think
All right,
hillbillies
listen,
come from the
listen,
hills.
listen. So a hillbilly is gonna be like.
That's a good thing.
banjo.
That's cool.
Listen, they've got like the jug and they're like, yeah, that's
It's
hillbilly.
a jolly. It's a jolly concept.
It's in the jug.
But a redneck is like my mom's whole side of the family is redneck for sure. Basically, a redneck is just like a good old country boy. Like they like take their dirt bikes through the mud and like go hunting and fishing and stuff like that.
We
That's
have
like
that
a
in Ohio,
redneck.
like,
Yeah, that's
where
what we
I'm
say
from.
is a redneck.
So someone who fishes
America.
and does biking.
Yeah, listen
Those
to
are
country
like.
music.
More country.
Where's-
It's not, why is it a bad
Versus,
stereotype?
like-
then? That's like
I
that's
don't think
totally
it's bad at
That's
all.
stereotype.
I don't know.
It depends on which
reclaimed.
ones you run into.
We do have a lot of rednecks, but also I think North Carolina specifically is very diverse in like the type of people that are there. Like we have like big cities, but we also have like a lot of countryside, but we also have like the Outer Banks and beaches where you've got like beach bums and stuff.
Same.
So
Nothing.
my dad is from Ohio and he
Here we go.
describes it as gray and sad. And
Hey!
this is his words, not mine, girl. I
Maybe
don't know.
back in his
Wow.
day.
Yeah, so he left when he was
Maybe-
18 and never returned.
Yeah.
Okay, that is true. Oh, we have a lot of Amish.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
Wow.
a lot of
Amish.
Amish.
We have a lot of Amish and they make really good food, like
Yeah?
pastries
Yeah.
and
Do you know?
like,
Oh, like pastries?
like in the fall season, people go over there for like
Over there.
over there to Amish country. Yeah,
Oh wait, is it really called Amish
it's
country?
Amish country. Yeah, Amish country.
Yeah,
My
it's-
parents they live in Amish country, so we would always get a lot of like things from. back
Can you
home.
explain what an Amish person
Oh my
is?
gosh,
Yeah, for people
Amish
that don't
people.
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's really hard to even explain.
I think I know, but I'm not sure like exactly.
I would say it's very like classical, traditional without like electricity.
Yeah, they're not
and,
using like modern day things. They're
Yeah.
living kind of. They have their own community and it's kind of separated from the general public, I guess. And they have their own system like in the community, and they use like horse and buggy. They would.
Yeah, they dress really conservatively.
That's so cool, actually.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like I grew up in that kind of.
No, that's I know.
That's
I was
what it
gonna say
was.
like they have the original like General Motors and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the industrial.
It's like the Rust Belt.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
what I
the
would say when I
Rust
think
Belt.
of like.
I like that they
Northern
don't say that
Midwest.
many bad things though. Thank you.
We
I
didn't
think
know
it's 'cause
enough.
Everyone leaves. So we have nothing to say. She's sweet as a Georgia peach. I know that's right.
Girl, that's a very tangy peach. Very tangy peach. Oh my no.
Alabama.
Oh no.
I think if you're talking about Southern accents,
That's the
you're
strongest
typically
one.
thinking about an Alabama accent.
Louisiana.
Louisiana, like downtown. No, I can't do it.
In Alabama, they're gonna talk really slow and everything's a little bit more
Oh,
drawn out, and the
I see.
accent is a lot more heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
good.
like where I'm from, in North Carolina, my accent is a little bit lighter, but it's still definitely country. Can you
Depends
hear
on
the
the word.
difference? Like one is really like
Yeah, more
weighty
subtle,
and
I
heavy.
think.
Yeah,
And
but
one-
in Alabama, it's gonna be like deeper and everything's a little bit more slow. Sweet,
Sweet home Alabama.
And the movie Sweet Home Alabama is darling. I love that. So
Please let us know.
Florida is like, it's lovely to visit, but I think living there is a different story. And I say that because like it's incredibly overpopulated. So like all the horror stories you hear are true, but it's because there's so many people in a small area. Alligator thing is real. There's a big park called the Everglades National Forest.
The Everglades.
And it's a protected area that's literally filled with alligators and like
I don't wanna go.
like water. Oh no, it's
I'm
so
scared
beautiful.
of alligators.
Yeah, it's nice to go.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Florida a few times, and
Did you go hang out with the
like I said, the swimming pool because I went to my aunt's,
went there for track a lot.
aunt's house, and she had an alligator like in her swimming pool. And there's like some number you have to
Yeah,
call,
you just
and
call.
they like, come get it. And I'm like, that's terrifying.
So my question is, how much of the Florida mess do you feel is from actual natives? Because in Atlanta, because of the film industries and a lot of other industries that are coming in, there are people from other states flocking in.
I definitely think it's that because a lot like Florida is like a kind of a retirement state.
Right.
There's a lot of like older population there. Like a lot of people go there because they think of it as like a vacation spot, so they go there to live there thinking it's Fantasyland, like Disney World or something, and it's all
Weather's
beaches all
always
the
nice.
time. And yeah, it's a beautiful place for sure, but I think a lot of it is from outside people as well. Like
Right.
it's not all people Floridians, you know.
Some of it's pretty cool though. You have that guy that tried to walk across the Atlantic Ocean, I think. Have you heard of
What?
that? Yeah.
I'm
Like a bubble.
Very
yeah.
concerned
It's
where
amazing.
you get your information on a daily basis.
YouTube. You guys know YouTube? Yeah.
Florida is incredible. It's incredible.
Miami.
Like, yeah, Miami especially, but being so
Like
close
Cuban
to
people,
Cuba,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
so close to Cuba. Like we lived in Fort Lauderdale, which is very southern tip of Florida, so there's a lot of that Cuban influence. But you get like Cuban coffee and like
Good food.
just like the music and like the
Yeah.
energy, like that
Right.
that Latin American influence is amazing.
I feel bad because I wish I could say more about Georgia, but it's changed
Yeah.
so much over time,
Yeah, it's
right?
true.
But
It's
I
really
know a lot of
evolved.
people are moving to Atlanta. Like it's
Yeah.
a great place to live. So
They're moving.
I think it's important to mention also,
Don't
like
come
with
here.
all of our states, there's a lot of different opinions about our states
Yeah.
from our states.
Disclaimer.
So like, yeah, just
Right,
disclaimer
right.
there. Like, my opinion is going to be different from someone else from North
Same.
Carolina.
Yeah,
So,
everyone's so
Huge
diverse.
state,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
diversity.
yeah, and
Right.
in the U.S., like everyone moves around a lot, so it's very diverse. So just
Yeah.
putting that out there.
So diverse,
Don't take
yeah.
my word for it.
Today we talked about different state stereotypes.
If you like this video, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.